The following podcast contains spoilers.
Hey, it's Joe Bunzerelly.
You may have noticed we got a new Facebook page, so make sure you guys come and follow us. We had to kind of reboot it, but anyway, I got Bob with me, and we're talking about The Mandalorian, Chapter 20, The Youngling.
This is the Bunzerelly Show.
You know, what's the cool thing about this episode was it was directed by Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Grief Cargo.
I know. I caught
a.k.a.
that too.
Apollo Creed. Yeah, so, and he does like one a season,
awesome.
one or two. Yeah, but really good episode, too.
Yeah. Yeah, this was really good. And it was very Star Wars.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's definitely a whole lot of Star Wars themes going on. The father-son thing with the animal.
Yes.
Taking the kid. That's a big Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Or and also, how about the Mandalorians all coming out of there was one shot where they're walking towards the camera and it was them coming off of a ship or coming off of something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Just it was like 12 Mandalorians in a row coming off. Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of Mandos all in the same place.
It was sweet.
Was,
Whatever we're wondering was going on with Bo, we're really seeing it fleshed out here because she's just taking command of the rescue and everything, and she's just with it. She's just asking Mando questions like, "How do we eat?" You know what I mean? She's not even like questioning it. She's like, "What are we supposed to do here?" You know?
She's like, okay, yeah. She wasn't like, "Oh, show me." She didn't even say it like in a negative, like, you know. Oh, how do I got to do this again?
Yeah.
What's this, like whatever, any kind of tone or anything. It's like, okay, how do I, yeah. And her talking to the armor was cool. Started to see a little bit more. I didn't like the armor's response to her with the mythosaur.
Yeah, it was a little flat. Like
it was dismissive. It was, it didn't seem like, okay, if it's something like that's really great that should happen, then you should be a little shocked. Like, oh wow, that's cool. You've seen a thing. You've seen a miracle. Wow.
Yeah.
Like you think she'd be excited. Instead, she's like, oh, that just means a miracle happened. You're not,
yeah,
a little happy about that. I didn't like it. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I watched it again.
To me.
I watched it again, and I'm like, am I missing something out of it? But then I'm going back to your thoughts of like the armorer might be up to something. So maybe maybe she's not so much up to something, but maybe she knows more than she's letting on. Like maybe she's seen the mythosaur. That might be it.
Okay, you know what? That's better. That's really actually what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking she knows more than she lets on. I definitely think that.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's against Mando, but she seems deceptive, like holding back. Like this,
yeah.
She doesn't seem honest.
Like something's going to come out that she's
honest.
Something's going to come out like, oh, she knew this, but or she knew something.
Yeah, like she's going with the, I keep tying it to like church. It's like she knows that there's actually more scriptures than they put in the Bible. But whatever the equivalent would be, like she knows that she knows what was made up and she knows what is real, and you know what I mean. And she's not being honest with everyone else about it. She's just like, no, this is the way we teach it. That's it. We're not gonna talk about the reality of it.
Yeah, I think she's got a bigger knowledge of it, and she's always had that leadership, motherly role of the clan. You could even see her like, getting ready when they're like planning the rescue. It's not like they're arguing with each other or anything. You know what I mean? Or she's trying to one up anybody.
She's just she's just like a peacekeeper.
Yeah, and she throws her
seen that role in a lot of shows. A lot of like cult kind of shows. Like the one where like they know what's up, but they're just all for laying down the law regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is the deal. And her sort of passive response to the mythosaur thing kind of goes to that. Because all right, if you believe in this stuff, then this should have been cool news to hear. You should have been like, wow, that should have been something. If you don't believe in this stuff, that should have been something. The fact that you just didn't seem to give a shit, it's like, all right, that tells me that her response to was like misleading or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I go back to a scene do you remember from the first season, there was when Mando was learning to ride he was learning to ride some kind of creature, like a horned something. And there was that little alien that goes, oh, I remember, the one that goes, I have spoken. Remember that guy? It was
Yeah.
old character. But anyway,
So,
when he's training Mando, he goes, your ancestors rode the great mythosaur. So it has been heard of and talked about. So maybe it's not so much the myth as it exists. Maybe it's more of the myth like, are any left? You know what I mean? Not that it's a magical creature. Because how much is that different from a Rancor? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what? Nobody believes in a giant alien? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of it. So it might be more that
there's other giant aliens in that episode, even. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it more like...
I didn't even know. I don't even remember what the whole Mythosaur lore was. I didn't really know.
The lore was that Bo-Katan...
I just know of it.
Yeah, Bo-Katan said, to get really quick, so I'm going to try to go in the weeds with it, but the Darksaber was created by Pat Vizsla, who was a Jedi, who was a Mandalorian that was a Jedi. So he created that special Darksaber. It's the only one of its kind. But the legend was that someone will rise on the great mythosaur with the Darksaber to retake Mandalore. That is the legend part of the mythosaur. Yes.
And that's how your Grogu things. We'll make sure to pin this somewhere. Your theory: Grogu, Darksaber, on top of mythosaur.
Yeah,
that's going to be the end of the season or the series or something.
Yeah, because that also ties back to the origin of the Darksaber, which is the Jedi Mandalorian crossover. So that would kind of bring it full circle.
It ties to that, and it brings us a reason for Luke to train him. Everything comes together. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good theory. But hold on, we got things in the episode too I wanted to ask you about. Oh, hey, they made the that badge thing for Grogu. And I love that whole scene. I like the armor with Grogu. That was cool.
Yeah.
And it showed like, all right, maybe she's not evil. Maybe it isn't so much she's not a bad guy. She's just something's up. She's just hiding something.
Yeah, because she took that initiative.
That maybe it was wrong on. She took the initiative. She brought him in and she made him something nice. But let me ask you, he was making faces, as much as the Muppet could do.
Yeah.
when she was smushing down the metal for him.
Yeah.
And then it showed it was because he was flashing back, which the flashback was awesome. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Oh yeah.
But was the metal made of something of his? Because I kind of blanked out for a second, or I missed it, and I was going to go back and I forgot.
No.
But was that metal something of his that she used to make that thing, or was it just that it? Okay. I thought maybe I missed, like it was a gift of his, and he was like, "Oh man, you're breaking my freaking."
No,
toy.
Whenever they recover some Beskar, they like save it, and the first place it goes, like even Din Djarin, whenever he comes back with Beskar, the first priority is always the younglings, the foundlings. He's always like, say, oh, this is the way. And that's the kind of thing to take care of, like the new first.
Okay.
So it was
the way
basically
he was looking at the thing. I thought it was at first I was thinking like that's not the gift that he gave him, like the net thing. But then I could see that he was still
wearing it. Yeah,
the chain mail, whatever that's called. Yeah. Which that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and how about the Baby Grogu's movements?
Yes.
You notice that, like the walking around and stuff? Now, I mean, you make a character and you base it off of some kind of animal.
Yeah.
Of some kind. But it seems like they based him off of a toy. Like they said, let's make it look like a toy tried to walk, like a poorly made toy tried to walk. It doesn't seem like they tried to make it like an animal tried to walk. Like it's such a strange thing. Like it's intentional. That's what makes it. It's not like they cheaped out on it necessarily, but they like an odd choice for how they make a move. And it's cute, but it's weird.
I'll come back to that with Yoda. So you have Yoda, and had you had Yoda be consistent and just had like the puppet running around with the lightsaber, it would look a little off, right? But so they made the CGI one. So what happens though is I believe people have a hard time connecting the CGI Yoda with the puppet one, which I didn't even think when they fixed the CGI it was that bad. Like I thought he looked pretty good, the CGI Yoda. So my only guess is, because you have two choices, and I don't know which is the better one, but if you saw the way they thought about the Luke stuff, they might have. The two choices were you either because he's basically puppet the whole time. He's puppet when somebody's holding him, like for everything. So either you make the movements look cheesy, like when he was flipping, when he was doing the kid, or you make him CGI, and then it's going to be, I think it would be very inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Of the choices, it is the best way to go. Because I was thinking that as I'm watching, I'm like, you know, I'm thinking like, and I think it all the time when I see him, like, odd choice. But then I was like, what else are you gonna do? And I don't have anything better. And it's an alien, so it could be anything.
Yeah,
that's how that creature starts off. Why not? It just comes out with, you know, hell, our babies can walk at all. So
yeah, and he's pretty, like, you know, he's also exactly. He's smaller than Yoda, so he's like really like limited as far as his limbs and stuff. And so I think
he
that
can't
was just
talk, so he's like 2. You know, like in human years, if you think about it.
Yeah. I think also the audience has embraced it to the point where it's just like cute and funny. So there's like we laugh when we see it. We don't just go like, oh, because it's Grogu. He's funny. We're not, you know, we don't take him too seriously right now. So we just like laugh. Like, oh, look at him go. Yeah. Like he's hustling to try to keep up with the armorer. Oh, so you want to get to the Jedi Temple.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, if you think of the checklist of cool things that are in this episode, you got that flashback going.
Yeah.
You got Mandalorians flying around fighting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And a little bit of mythosaur answering. So there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I was like super happy and surprised to see. I thought I just didn't expect to see what the flashback was this early. I thought that'd be like I just thought that'd be later for some reason. But that was really cool to see just some straight Jedi stuff going on.
And it's funny too, because so the fans were all like, oh, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mace Windu? Is it going to be Anakin? Like, you know, they were waiting for some big twist. Okay. So it wasn't really just you know, also that's a lot of stuff to cram in. But the cool thing, the Jedi that did rescue Grogu was Kelleran Beck, which you probably never heard of before, and I've never heard of before. But then the actor who played him is Ahmed Best. Do you know who that is, Bob? Oh, Missa. It's Jar Jar. That was freaking Jar Jar.
I read it as soon as you said it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and it was Jar Jar, and it was one of those other redemption moments almost. You know what I'm saying? Like when they brought Anakin back and made him cool. Because I know that actor. That actor struggled with the hate with Jar Jar back when he was, you know, when it first came out.
Yeah,
I think he like kind of. But he also. So here's the other thing about Kelleran Beck.
How would you not?
But they said something else. They're like Kelleran Beck. He first appeared in this show called Jedi Temple. So I'm like, oh, I thought it was a video game maybe or something, and Ahmed Best was playing it. No, Jedi Temple was a kid's almost like Double Dare. So it was kids dressed up as Jedi, and Ahmed Best was the host, but he was playing Kelleran Beck, like he was that character, but it just made him a real Jedi. But they said like, not only going to make you like a Jedi, they brought him in. They gave him like 2 lightsabers. They're like, we're going to make you the coolest character we can. Like that is some freaking redemption. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things that makes you like, you know what? Good. I'm glad they looked out for this guy and got him like, you know, got him in the scene.
You know, I bet they got like a checklist of like things like, all right, we got to right some wrongs here. You know, let's
next up is
let's bring Anakin back first.
Jake Lloyd, they got to help him out because he has some struggles too, I think, with the Anakin
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
I bet.
Yeah. And also, could we as fandom learn to stop like picking on kids because we don't like the actors? I mean, the character, you know what I mean? Like a 6-year-old kid. If my son played Darth Vader, you know what I mean? Like leave the kid alone, you know?
Yeah, the kid did it. Yeah, it isn't the kid that did it. It was them putting this big story on the kid.
Yeah.
You know, put it on the parents and let the kid just sort of be a side character. You know, it's like I just watched the Tony Soprano. I was telling parents about it. I just seen the prequel to the Soprano show.
How was it?
And it's Tony Soprano. It was great.
Oh, okay.
It's Tony Soprano. I don't know the actor's name. The actor's kid plays him in a flashback, right?
Oh, James Gandolfini.
So I'm curious. Gandolfini, yeah. So Gandolfini's kid plays Tony Soprano as a kid. And I was
Gotcha.
curious how that would go because the kid's just not a Tony Soprano looking dude. He does look like his dad, but he just doesn't look like a tough guy, you know?
Gotcha.
But the kid, it was actually great, and the kid was great. But what they did was the story wasn't about the kid, but the kid was in it, and he was definitely a big part of it, and it told the kid's story, but it was about someone else. That's how you got to do it when you got kid actors.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we got the kid actor. We want to put him in here because it's Tony Soprano's
He shouldn't
kid.
have been a lead.
That's what I was getting. It does come back to Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why there was a point.
You're right. You're right. He shouldn't have been a lead.
Yeah.
It
So
should have been
don't
more
make
like
it about the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be he's the lead. He shouldn't be saying the thing that it should just be everyone else going around him, and they're just pulling him not be the lead, but him be there.
Yes.
He's integral to it, but don't put the big lines on him.
Yeah, he
Let
didn't
him
need to
just be
blow
a
up the
kid
Trade
coming for
Federation
the ride.
ship. Like, this is pod
Yeah.
racing. We didn't need any of that stuff. We had a Darth Maul
Yeah.
fight going on. We didn't need any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Speaking of kids,
yes,
so we got Mandalorians,
yes.
and these Mandalorians have their little Mandalorian kids.
I know where you're going with this because I was
Now,
thinking about this too.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
I guess you keep the helmet on.
you keep helmet on. I mean, that's all you have to keep on is the helmet, right?
I guess so. Apparently,
All right, next topic.
yeah, that's it. Problem solved. We're solving the world's problems.
Problem
here.
solved. Solving the world's problem.
Yeah, I thought about it in the car. I was like, wait a minute.
I gotta say, what I said is very Star Warsy. This one,
Yeah.
but you got Mandalorians flying around that monster that stole the kid. We totally skipped all that.
Yeah.
So the monster steals the kid, and then you got Mandalorians flying around the monster shooting it. And I'm like, this is only Star Wars. This is so Star Wars. Having them shooting the thing, it just brought me back to Boba Fett getting eaten by the monster in the sand.
Yeah, the Sarlacc.
in the movies.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was definitely reminiscent of that. And as I'm thinking that, watching, I'm like, how cool it is. And it's kind of like a nostalgic thing, too. Like, good old Star Wars, doing it up.
Mhm.
And then, of course, they have to do the gag that they do so many times now where the big monster hits the ground and then another big monster comes and eats it.
Yeah, that was so
That's
Jurassic
the
Park.
Standard. It was Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But Star Wars did that. They were the first to do it. They were the ones that did it. Well, I don't know if the first.
No, you're
first,
right.
like,
They have done that.
Back
I'm
in the
pretty
70s
sure.
movies. They had done that with that. They landed on, I think, I might be getting scenes mixed up, but they're flying through what they think is a tunnel, and then it was the worm.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the same one. I was thinking a different worm ate that one, but no, I don't think it did.
You're thinking
They
of
just came out
Qui-Gon.
of a big
There's always a
snake
bigger
thing.
fish. That's what you're thinking of.
Yes. Okay, that's something.
Phantom
Yeah,
Menace.
I get all my things mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it definitely felt very Star Wars. Yeah, it's definitely. No, you're right. That was more Jurassic Park. They did that in a couple movies, Jurassic Park. The T-Rex always shows up and eats the other thing.
Yeah.
T-Rex is the good guy now. He flipped teams.
Yeah. And it was funny. That was the alligator from the first episode. It was like, I'm back. So they didn't just create me for convenience.
Yeah, what kind of place are they living in where they got these monsters in the sky and in the sea? Maybe find a different cave. I mean, there's probably.
I think it's
there's
just
other
because it's
planets.
so
We've seen
remote.
plenty.
I think they're still
It's
staying
remote.
off
It's
of.
dangerous.
I-
That's why they keep everyone off of it.
That's a weird one too. Is like, what is their like the galaxy's view of the Mandalorians? Because the original thing was that they were like, they were kind of acting as when this show first started. I'm not saying, but at this time period, it seemed like they were bounty hunters and they were just kind of taking care of their collective. So I'm not sure what makes them want to not assimilate into regular. I guess to hold on to the creed. I guess that's the point. But the thing is like, I don't know why it's so much like they're hiding. Because what are they guilty of? Having their world destroyed? That's the part. Because I'm saying, yeah, they're on that planet because it's remote.
Yeah.
But why do they have to be on a remote thing? What do they? That part, and there might be an answer, but I don't quite get it. Like, who are they hiding from? You know what I mean? Is it
You're
against the
right.
law to be a Mandalorian?
There's a lot of gaps in there.
Yeah. And maybe there's an answer, but like Bo-Katan wasn't hiding from anybody or her sect of Mandalorians. They were just, yes, they're rare, but what is it they got to hold up? Unless it's just.
Well, they do kill a lot of people, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe
people kind of.
it might be the other ones act as bounty hunters
They just
too.
get arrested constantly. They're just always like, there's always like warrants out for them for whatever.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like a lawless kind of group, and they're just. That's it. They just don't want to, their secrecy is part of their thing, especially if they are. If you go back to the Din Djarin was bounty hunting to collect stuff for the group, then if somebody's looking for Din Djarin, you don't want them to trace him back to the group. So I guess that's it. It's the safety of the group, because probably the other ones are doing the same stuff. So okay, I guess we answered that.
Solving problems.
We're solving problems here. We know how babies are made, and we know why they picked a crappy house. Those are we got those things knocked out. But and I was looking. There was a post. There's like 5 episodes left, Bob.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I mean, there is definitely some traction made, but I guess it's going to kind of ramp up to where it's going. Whether it's Moff Gideon coming back or wherever they're going with this, but that's what it looks like. Obviously, I saw it on the net. I didn't see it from a direct source, so I could be wrong. But that sounds about right for like a live action show. Because if you think of like the Disney Plus shows, they go to like 6 to 8 kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, this might be a turning point. And of course, it's going to lead into something, and it's also going to lead into maybe because Ahsoka's coming out this fall. There's like a little bit of it'll kind of work out, so it's not just a drought. But yeah, very curious to see where it goes.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Because I think in every episode I say, I gotta watch that end of credits artwork because it looks awesome. But I always am in a rush for some reason. And so this time I made a point this time to watch through it. That's really cool. Like props to whoever is doing that.
Yeah.
The artwork at the end is like semi-animated. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like they make the visual like storyboard just to get the idea. Like, hey, how about we make the scene look like this? And then I guess everybody approves it, and then the effects team can start working on it. Which is kind of like what Ralph McQuarrie, he's famous for doing that stuff for the original Star Wars. That's why there's certain things like they made a droid in last episode, chapter 19, that looked like the original version of C-3PO, a McQuarrie drawing. You know what I mean? Because he takes they take his original,
brought to his original thing to fruition.
Life.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then it's
finally
like,
see it.
Yeah, and then it got adjusted and stuff. But then but they show you a lot of these scenes are like, okay, here's the scene. Like I'm sure Jon Favreau hands a script to somebody and he goes, okay, here's what I'm thinking for the scene, and then they all look at it. I like that, and then they start putting that together.
Yeah, but they seem to even like it's cool though because they even like finish it.
Yeah.
Like it gives it like you could almost do a show in that animation. It just looks like an awesome, like in between a comic and a cartoon.
Oh, I would love to have an original piece of art like that. That'd be awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
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 Well, yeah, like I said, great episode. A lot of good things coming up. So as always, it's been fun doing this with you, Bob.
Yep, always fun.
We'll see you guys.